And welcome back to some Sultai Traverse. Yes, I will play first, and yes, I will keep this hand. It's a bit heavy on trophy, which can be a bit painful, but it is what it is. Wrong color. Up against Titan. Okay. I think I just take your Titan. Clicking the wrong colors here. The Assassin's Trophy is actually going to be pretty good here because I can take out my opponent's bounce lands if they ever get a like an Amulet. Depending upon what they draw, so they have the Castle Gambit. That means that they drew another untapped land here. Otherwise, they would have played Simic, bounce the Forest, and they could guarantee the turn 3 Azusa or Dryad. I think I just need to Liliana my opponent here. They end up getting Valakut. Which one do I want to get rid of? I think I'll get rid of the first trophy. I'll keep the second, and that's a better split. I can also cast both of them at the same turn. I also, trophy is okay in this matchup. But it's not. I don't want to be trophying their Titan. I want to be trophying a Dryad as an extra way. I look at it as an extra way to kill Dryad in case they're trying to Valakut kill me. Way to kill Valakut. It's not a great answer, but it's a decent tempo play to a Titan deck. One thing you definitely don't want to do is trophy. I had an opponent do this to me in a league. They trophied my Amulet. That I was on the draw. They were on the play. They went turn 1. Raging Ravine, turn 2, Overgrown Tomb, Shock, trophy my turn 1 Amulet. And I was like, okay. It just let me play a Dryad that much faster. Don't do that. Don't be that player. Don't trophy someone's Amulet. Trophy a bounce land when it's tapped. That can really mess up an opponent. Trophy their Karn, that's for sure. So they had the Amulet. That's what they're holding on to here. This might mean we're in a bit of trouble here. If my opponent drew into Amulet and Titan, then yeah, we're in trouble. Amulet oh, they discarded the Azusa, not the Dryad. If that was an Azusa, they could have actually Titaned there. So what do I want to do here? I can play the fetch land. My opponent has Titan mana. They have plenty of cards in hand, so this card's not as helpful as I want it to be. If they try Titaning and they try going for the Slayer Stronghold attack into my Liliana, then I get to trophy. Then I get to trophy the Titan, or trophy the bounce land. And then I get to kind of win off from there. Right now I can fetch. I can kill a Dryad and a Titan right now, or a Dryad and something. Okay, so they want to shrink my Goyf. These can still Titan. Yep, that's fine. Wait to see what they get. By the way, I think my opponent Bajuka bogged there to play around Stubborn Denial. To be completely serious, I think that's what they did there. Alright, if this is the line my opponent's going for, I'm just going to trophy the Titan right before combat. They return Slayer's Stronghold. I don't think my opponent should have gone... I don't know what they should have done there. Maybe they should have set up for another Titan. They were in a rough spot with the Liliana and the Goyf. Maybe they had to go for it, but it didn't feel right. Like, I felt like they could have... There was a more optimal line my opponent could have chosen there than walk into a removal spell. I don't know. Discard the Bauble. Make Goyf a little bigger. Okay, I know about the Simic Growth Chamber and the Slayer's Stronghold. I know my opponent's hand. Opponent's got to pay for the Pact, and they'll still have enough mana if they top deck a Titan to play it. If they top deck a Dryad or something like that, I can kill it, or an Azusa. Not that I need to, but I could. If they do play the Titan, they can't attack with it because Slayer's is in their hand. This feels like an EE to me. Explore. So Slayer's Stronghold and Simic Growth Chamber in my opponent's hand, along with one unknown card. Probably picking up the Bog, which I think they should have done last time instead of pick up the Slayer's Stronghold. And probably bogging me here. So Slayer's Stronghold and one unknown card in my opponent's hand. They're taking a little bit with their triggers here. There's some coyotes howling just a couple minutes ago. It was kind of eerie. Shrinks Goyf a little bit, makes it so I'm not quite lethal, although that helps quite a bit here, to be completely honest. I think I'm going to hold on to the fetch land for now. So my opponent's hand is Slayer's Stronghold, so we'll just make them discard that. And put them down to 2. So if they top deck a Titan here, they can stabilize with Field and Radiant Fountain, and I'm probably going to lose. But if they don't, then I win the game. Okay, sweet. We get better after sideboard. We have Ashiok, another Liliana, Disdainful Stroke, and Ether Gusts. Now the removal is a little bit wonky here. I think I do want the Inquisitions, and I think I want all the discard. Euro's pretty bad in this matchup. Last Hope is not great. And then if I have to choose between Goyf and Flayer, I think it'd be Goyf getting the axe. I probably want to trim a little bit here. Although on the draw, push is a little bit better than some of my other options here. I can trim a Street Wraith on the draw. And let's trim one push. They might be siding out their scouts anyway against me. Although I'm not a running 6 deck, so maybe not. Traverse might get a little bit weaker in the face of all my opponent's graveyard hate in terms of Bojuka Bog, but I think it's still valuable enough to keep here. I might want to trim a Bauble for the Street Wraith, but I think I'm pretty set with this. Yeah. You can't ask for a more Jund-esque hand here. Turn 1 discard, turn 2 threat, turn 3 Liliana of the Veil. This is what we signed up for. I will keep this hand. I know it doesn't have any of her sideboard cards. There's no Gust. There's no Ashiok. This would be so much better if it was discard that trophy. If that trophy was a Gust, and then if Liliana was a Ashiok, but is what it is. So opponent kept in the scouts. It's a little awkward here because I don't have a discard spell. I mean, because I don't have a removal spell. I do have the discard spell. And let's see what my opponent is packing here. So these are redundant pieces at this point, so I'll just take the engineered explosives, which can deal with my threats. Opponent's got a really awkward hand here. They did keep that 7. I guess they're really afraid of discard, so I don't know. Some people hate mulliganing against Thoughtseize decks, which just in some cases makes Thoughtseize decks better. I think I can take this opportunity to drop a threat and get a blue source. Black. Okay. Next turn my opponent's going to play a Dryad, and I'm might have to decay it just to swing through. I might do like a swing, they block, and I decay type move. Suva, that's nice. Copying the Garen Brig is interesting. I feel like they should have copied the Blooming Marsh here to make other EEs potentially better and to give them a little bit more name diversity for a field. Plus, if they did bring in Dismember against me, that it's also a nice little black source. I know my opponent's hand, and they're going to play either Dryad or Azusa here, which means I'm probably going to have to Abrupt Decay their threat. So they're going to play Dryad, so they have the extra blue sources for T-West, and because Dryad blocks Grim Flayer. Yep. Fatal Push would be a really good draw for me. Not Fatal Push. Trample is an awesome mechanic. So I can put instant and artifact in the graveyard at the same time. Right? Let's see what they're about to draw. That's 3 types. And I can Abrupt Decay this, which would be 4 types. And I made my own Fatal Push there. What I didn't get was a trigger off the Grim Flayer, but I was able to wipe my opponent's board, which is kind of sweet. So I know opponent drew the Simic Growth Chamber, so they don't have the blue they need. Another exact hand right here. So they don't have the blue they need to actually get going, so they have to play that. They have to play Azusa. What they're going to have to do is play green, like green 1, 2, pick up the Garenbrig. Why didn't they pick up the Garenbrig? Pick up the Garenbrig, replay the Simic Growth, and that way they have the double blue. I don't like that line. That does make my Disdainful Stroke awkward, but... Probably should have played that post-combat. Get rid of you, and Ethergust is exactly what I want on top of my deck. Let's discard something. I'll discard another Veil. And I'll play a land so I can double spell next turn. Opponent does not have the T-West anymore, so my opponent right now is scrambling to top deck a Titan. If they top deck a Titan, they had that 1-turn window before I draw the Gust, where I'm in a world of hurt. Other than that, I think I'm in an okay spot. I don't know why they're naming... Maybe they don't run field. Because if they're running field, what they want is they want to diversify as many lands as possible right now, and then they can always just field me to death with their Azusa. Thoughtseize is bad, land is bad, Bauble's bad. I think I want a plus. Not drawing into a threat is a little rough at the moment. Yep, this is fine. I'm not trying to ult Lily. I'm just trying to keep Lily at the -2 mark. Okay. Opponent should pick up Vesuva here. Okay. I mean, if that's the play, then you keep. I don't know. I don't like that play. I feel like you should pick up the Vesuva and name something new with it. Alright, probably should have done this a turn ago. I'm not going to crack this fetch. I'm going to use it to make my fatal pushes. I should be able to trigger Revolt. It's exactly what I want to draw. And now I get to, if they have a Titan, I gust it, and then I get to play Ashiok and then trophy the Titan. And my opponent will be completely kind of screwed at that point. Should probably plus first here. In case they have like a mystical dispute. Yeah. Because I didn't play the card. I can't do anything about that except maybe I could Ether Gust my own creature. I don't like that. I don't think that's how I win here. Because I can target my own creature. I could have Ether Gusted, put him on top, but that just kind of, it robs me, I guess, of like a draw step. I don't know. But it does draw me exactly what I'm looking to draw. They put Primetime on top of their deck, and Ashiok gets to mill them. I will keep this one, and then I'll plus. I could have opted to not plus Liliana, and instead keep the second Ashiok in my hand, but I think that ulting Liliana's a way I could potentially win this game at this point. I have 19 cards in my graveyard. That is a lot. Opponent writes, good games in the chat. And there we go. We beat Amulet Titan with a janky homebrew. I love this deck. I love it so much. I'll see you in the next one.